Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to today's webinar, whether you're watching live or if this is an archive version. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm Justin Chesbro, the director of Beyond Textbooks, and I'm excited today to talk about these BT IEEI tasks that you can use in a flipped classroom. You thought there were a lot of acronyms in education? I'm here to throw another one out at you, which are these IEEI tasks. And if you're not familiar, we're going to spend a lot of time, actually not a lot of time, but we're going to spend some time talking about these IEEI tasks and how to use them and where they are on BT. Before we jump into today's topic though, just a reminder in terms of our webinars, if you're watching live, there's somebody behind the scenes right now who's on the chat bar if you want to engage with us, ask questions. Even if it's as simple as saying, hello, I'm so-and-so and I'm from which organization. We love to say hello and know who's out there. As a reminder, with all of our webinars, there will be a quiz link that pops up as soon as this webinar is done. As soon as we get done, you're going to hit refresh, and there's going to be a link to take a short quiz at the top. As a reminder, if you're watching this live, you also have an opportunity to win some money or a little BT incentive. If you're one of the 15 names that we draw at random after you've taken that quiz and passed it, we're going to send you $100. And again, it's within 48 hours of the live broadcast. We're going to send you $100 as a thank you for watching today's webinar. And as a reminder, this webinar, as well as all of our old ones, they're always in that archived area on BT. If you go into Stay Engaged, you can find this one and any of our older webinars if you want to go back and watch any of those. So again, I really appreciate you being here with us today. So here are the kind of four goals, if you will, in terms of this webinar on BT IEEI tasks. Number one is, what exactly are these things? Number two is how do you use them? Number three, who has access? What content areas, what grade levels have access to these tasks? And then where do you find them specifically on BT? I'm going to hit all four of these topics as we go through our webinar today. So let me start off with the first one there, which is what exactly are these? And what is, I mentioned a flipped classroom. What is this idea of a flipped classroom and how do I use these IEEI tasks in this flipped classroom model? You're gonna have to think about things a little bit different in your classroom. It's almost like having desserts before dinner, which isn't always a bad thing, but think of that concept as I share this flipped classroom model with you as we talk about these specific tasks. So the flipped classroom, essentially it's just tasks done prior to direct instruction by a teacher. For example, as a classroom teacher, you might start off pretty standard, maybe a little bit of bell work, maybe a set, and then you do your direct instruction on whatever standard it is that you're teaching. This is a little bit different in terms we're flipping it, again, dessert before dinner. You're actually giving the kids a task before you do that direct instruction. So what are some benefits to doing this? Again, doing that task before the direct instruction. One is that students are just learning more deeply. We're going to show you some example, but kids are really coming together, they're engaging, they're working in groups, they're problem solving, they're just learning at a much deeper level. They're definitely, kids and students are active participants in their learning. They're heavily involved in this process. And there's just a ton of interaction and engagement as students work together with other students, try and problem solve in terms of what is this task before that direct instruction takes place from the classroom teacher. So what exactly is an IEEI task? Maybe you've heard of EEI, that's the instructional model that we use here in the Vail School District. EEI, without the I, stands for the essential elements of instruction. It's just a nice kind of a lesson plan template that we use in our district as teachers come together and create a lesson plan. The I in IEEI stands for inverted or flipping it. So it's the inverted essential elements of instruction. And again, these are tasks that focus on learning specific to that standard that occur before the instruction takes place. And again, these are specific tasks that we have created. They're done, they're developed, they're on BT, and they're aligned to all of the math standards right now that are on Beyond Textbooks. So why use them? As a classroom teacher, what are some benefits to using these? One, it's really just going to increase student engagement. As you pair up students or put them into small groups, it really allows for more collaboration. And it really benefits all learning types in the classroom. Your shy ones to your super go-getters, all types of kids and personalities are having to work together on this task. It really allows for problem solving as kids come together and communicate, more communication, just working together in general. And it really allows for more of a student-centered classroom because, again, you're giving kids the opportunity to come together, to work collaboratively, to try and problem solve, to figure out, what is the learning objective and how does this work, and before you as a classroom teacher gives that direct instruction. So again, that's kind of a what are they and why use them in general. So who has access to these? Again, I've shared that these IEEI tasks are created and they're available on BT. So right now, who has access to them? Well, if you're a BT teacher, you have access to every IEEI task on BT. So if you want to use your grade level, a grade level below, a grade level above, they're available right now, kindergarten through 12th grade. And right now we have them specifically for math for all of the essential standards that are on BT. So again, kindergarten through 12th grade, you have full access to all of them, math specifically right now at this point. So the last question is, as we talked about what are they and how to use them, the question is, so where do I find these tasks on BT? Where are these housed? On the screenshot in front of you, this is a pretty standard page, right? You've either gone to this page from your calendar, you've narrowed down to a specific standard, or maybe you've gone into a grade level container, you've searched for a standard and you've gotten to this point, right? This screenshot should look fairly familiar. 7th grade math standard on students can describe and draw 2D figures that result from slicing a right prism or pyramid, right? So that's your essential standard. And then of course below you've got your curriculum documents, everything from your unwrapped to your formatives, to your problem of the week, etc. You may have already seen these, right? You can see the container right there, which is the IEEI task. And maybe you said, what is that? Or I'll look at it another time. Well, here's where those IEEI tasks are housed. Again, kindergarten through 12th grade, just in math. And if you'll notice, there is a PowerPoint version and a Mac-friendly version as well. So again, that's where you find them, 7th grade example. Why don't we do this? Let's take a close look at that specific 7th grade IEEI task and see exactly what it entails. So we're going to jump onto BT right now and take a look at that specific task. All right, so we're logged in into the BT website right now. Let's go and explore where that IEEI task is we'll just stick to that 7th grade standard, and we'll actually open it up and show you what this entails. So on BT, 2 ways to access those. You can either go through your calendar, find the math standard that you're working on, and then open up the IEEI task. Or in this case, I'm just going to go into a grade level band and navigate to a specific standard. So I'm going to click into 6th through 8th grade. Like I said, we'll stick with that 7th grade math standard. So under 7th grade, I'll click math. And then towards the bottom here, let's find that specific standard. And it looks like it's right here. Describe and draw 2D figures that result from slicing a right prism or pyramid. So again, this should look fairly familiar to everyone, hopefully. I'm on a specific standard right now for BT. This is very similar to the screenshot that I just shared with you. And you can see in the middle of the page, there's your table with the curriculum documents, your unwrapped, your formatives, your problem of the week. And then again, as a reminder, here is your IEEI task, and there's a PowerPoint and a keynote. Prior to filming this, I actually downloaded this keynote. So let me just open it up right now. All you would do obviously is click on that. Let's open up this specific IEEI task, and here's what you'll find. You'll see, again, the standard. Let me just click through this. There's the objective. Here are those NCTM standards, or those mathematical practices that apply to this particular task or this standard. You'll see the expectations for kids. Looks like they're pairing up in groups of 2, problem solving for 20 minutes, making sure to complete the task, and then writing your answers on the whiteboard and be ready to justify your answers. So again, some expectations that the teacher can provide to students. And then here's the task. It looks like it says, Jordan believes that a triangular pyramid that is cut perpendicular to its base always creates a 2D triangle. And then again, you can see the kids are working together, students are working together to determine whether or not Jordan is correct, and they're having to justify their answer. So again, nice little task before the direct instruction takes place, where kids are having to really work together, figure out the task and the answer, and also justifying their answer as well. And you'll notice it also has some group rules here, sharing ideas, being open to others, being engaged and focused on the activity, and share in the responsibility for your team's work. So again, one more thing too. And then some guided practice here. Groups are going to share out how they solve the problem. And then discussion, you can see if Jordan was correct. And then any other discussions that they potentially had in their groups. All right, so BT IEEI tasks, again, inverted essential elements of instruction. I shared with you what they are, why use them, what are some benefits, who has access to them, and then actually showed you on BT where to find those. If you have any questions or thoughts or comments or feedback, feel free to reach out to anybody on the BT team, whether it's related to IEEI tasks or not. We're here and available if you have any questions moving forward. Finally, I just want to say again, thanks for watching this webinar, whether it was live or archived. As a reminder, with all of our webinars, if you're watching live, you're going to have to refresh your browser before that quiz link pops up at the top of the page. Again, appreciate you tuning in today. Be on the lookout for correspondence for our webinar next month. And again, hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks again.